The arrival of the computer and the digital photo and things have changed considerably. At first a program was made to derive the measurements from the frames. The program, which we see on the screen. It was written with Flash, Macromedia Flash. First it was written with HyperCard and then with Java, to go on the net. In essence, for example, to measure the distance between 2 points on a plan. Just click on one point and then on the other, so that when you click you will find the coordinates. Then click on the second point, and the program, in addition to detecting the coordinates, apply the formula of the distance between 2 points, according to their coordinates, to transform into meters, the measure which, obviously, is in pixels. A coefficient is applied resulting from the relationship between a known measure and the corresponding one, found on the plan. Then in a moment we calculate the distance. With the tab key you can set the origin of the reference system in a point, and calculate, with clicks, the distance of other points from the chosen point and so on. The same applies if instead of a graph, the program is applied to a photoplan. In this case we see the elevation of the Cathedral of Bari. We fix the origin at a certain point, and then we move the image as we like. And we detect all the distances we want. The problem remained for use via the network, because you couldn't use very large images. And therefore we could not extend the measures to the details. But the problem was solved with the arrival of more powerful computers and a faster network. The problem still remained the three-dimensional image. We said that the dream was to make the three-dimensional model available to the user. To do this, a StereoFot program was developed, created as a game in 1991. Was first made with HyperCard. We have already seen that initially computers with frames, 640 by 480 pixels in size. According to the program, for each pair of frames, by clicking on a point on the left frame, it was possible to know the terrain coordinates of that point. Then, making another click on the corresponding point of the right frame, the coordinates of the point were detected. Further improving the program, we could even calculate distance, etc., etc. With the arrival of more powerful computers, the networked image was 600 by 800 pixels, and you could go. We could have gone further, but the problem was that we were already thinking about reverse photogrammetry. That is, to the possibility of drawing on the three-dimensional model. So to the idea of having a very large frame, but always with limited vision of the same. A certain network speed was required to move the frames within two small windows, which, as we see, could be enlarged. For which it was preferred to report the two full frames, and this was possible with the new panoramic screens, in such a way as to observe the entire three-dimensional model at all times, and being able to draw on it too. In this case we see that the mobile brand moves, which is that red dot, which can be registered. So we drew a rectangle, a quadrilateral, which we can then move comfortably, as we want, in this three-dimensional space, in height, horizontally and in depth. And it is already the premise for what will be the stereometric modeling, which we will see soon after. Someone tries, but someone is still scared at the idea of taking the measurements. But the very fact of having, available online, all the findings of the earthquake, and the interest to see how the buildings behaved, I believe it is only a matter of time. But we will all be able to detect the measurements, via the network, from the three-dimensional optical model, which can be observed, both with the visual axis crossed, in two small windows, both on the 17-inch screen, with anaglyphic glasses, red and green. And here we see that you can adjust the red and green according to the glasses you have. This program has always been written with Flash, Macromedia Flash. Then the model, on the giant screen, where the frames can be viewed with the stereoscope. And this for more refined returns. And also for any interventions on the three-dimensional optical model.